We all seem to like to ask, how fun is the new Mario Party? But has anyone ever asked how ethical the new Mario Party is? Like if OSHA did an inspection on this party that Mario's hosting, would it pass? I really want to figure this out. So today I'm going to take the role of a simple inspector and I'm going to check out every single minigame to see if Mario Party Jamboree is an ethical, OSHA compliant event. So basically the idea is I'm just going to be going through all the minigames, playing all of them, and ranking them on this scale here from I'm definitely dead to completely fine. Because the chief way all inspectors use to check if something is OSHA compliant is they put it on a tier list. Clearly. I think that this game has some good potential for being very hurt. You can see there's some rocks, so falling is a little bit scary in this situation. These giant wooden pillar things, they don't hurt us necessarily. They just kind of push us, but in real life, see how they're like swinging kind of back and forth? Very easily able to just knock us. Oh, and look at this, this is wonderful. There's a giant waterfall right here, which was definitely going to be very, very dangerous. Oh, all right, you could die for sure. You're not guaranteed to die. If you fall in the earlier one, maybe your head could hit a rock or something and you could be very hurt. I think this fits well in the horribly injured category. This is already extremely stupid. Next is Big Top Quiz. Yeah, some games like Big Top Quiz are pretty much totally safe and thus talking about them would be totally boring. So I'm probably gonna skim over those ones for your pleasure, but know that the ones I do skim over would probably pass as OSHA compliant. And that goes for the next game, Camera Ready. You're not gonna get hurt playing Camera Ready. You'll be okay. You might notice the two ginormous electrocution traps in front and behind you. That's not very safe. In this game, if you touch the electrocution trap, you just kind of fly off, see? In real life, you could very well be very, very injured by that. I'm not sure exactly, but if you can see the electricity surging, I'm gonna be generous and say horribly injured. I feel like if you could see the lightning like that, you would not be alive when hitting that, but I'm gonna be generous. By the way, this one's totally fine. You're just running around. I think being on a weird tiny planet with gravity and stuff, there's a small chance you might trip and fall. I guess I'll just put that on like you might get bruised or cut. You're fine though. Being crushed by a giant ham and cheese sandwich has not been a fear of mine until now. I'm pretty sure you die if you were crushed by a sandwich and then subsequently crushed by like 30 other sandwiches. This game goes on for a long time, okay? You're being crushed to death by a sandwich, and that's just not, it's just not a fun thing. All right, hot cross blocks, you pick a block and you hope you get the block so that way you can kind of make a bridge to the end. But if this was real life, I do think that being so close to lava would indeed burn your skin. Horribly injured, that's the worst case scenario. Obviously you could die, but you're most likely to be horribly injured. I mean, I guess it depends on what the light waves are made of. If they're made of like electricity, then it could be more dangerous, but if they're like actually just light, lifelong scar. Okay, we'll just put it in the middle. Swamp the difference. You're completely fine. You're completely safe. I don't know if there's like boats on standby to protect you if you fall into the water. I think there's a chance you survive if you fall into the water, but like falling into ice water, it's not very safe at all. You're probably gonna be very horribly injured. All right, hop or whatever it's called. You're dead. Okay, there's giant lava monsters trying to attack you. If you get touched by that, you're going to melt. There's a giant fireball rotating. There's just no possible way for you to survive if you fall in the lava or get touched by anything here. This one is the easiest. This one's the easiest one. It's not even a question. You just mash the button over and over and over again. It's not really that dangerous. I mean, I guess the rocks falling are kind of dangerous, but you're in a safe spot, so you're fine. Worst case scenario, you might get like a bruise or a cut or something. I don't think basketball players are too worried, so I'm gonna I'm gonna probably say that this one's fine. You could probably get bruised or cut, but they're standing in place throwing. They're fine. Granite getaway. You're running away from a giant boulder. It's like Indiana Jones. It's all scary. Oh, tense. So scary. Actually so scary. Okay, let's just do a test real quick. I'm gonna stop and then let the boulder crush me, and then we'll decide if we'll decide where we put this. Yeah. Tilt-a-golf is literally just minigame golf. You're fine. Night lights, you might strain your arm or something, but you're gonna be fine. Have you ever hit your finger while nailing in a nail? It's really bad. I mean, it's not gonna kill you, but it's really painful, man. Twist and soar, it's just like a little minigame. You're not gonna get hurt for that. This one's a tough one because there is the giant electrical lightning bolts, but you're in like a little bubble thing. So if I take damage right here, you'll see I get electrocuted. Toad's clearly in pain, but he's not dead. One thing I also start to take into account is the measures this game takes to ensure safety. Think of it this way. Yeah, if you jump out of a plane, you're pretty guaranteed to die, but if you have a parachute, it's a lot less likely. The same logic applies here. It looks like, see, our shuttles are like broken and destroyed, but they're still flying. So I think this one is dangerous, don't get me wrong, but I don't think you're definitely gonna die. I think there's things in place. I think you, worst, will get a lifelong scar. I mean, if you exercise as much as I do, then yeah, you're definitely gonna die. That being said, if you're like most people, you should be fine. Maybe you'll get a cut or bruise or something. Doesn't look super dangerous. You know, worst case scenario, you're still in the tunnel. But if you think about it, there is no supports. The cave could technically collapse on you. There's clearly no safety measures, so you might get a lifelong scar. Gatekeepers, you're literally just opening a gate. It's not dangerous at all. All right, we're just gonna keep going. We're not gonna stop for nothing. We're committed here. Let's see what happens. And oh wow, okay, we went way farther. Okay, plummeting into a frozen lake, certainly not the safest thing. I think it's very easy to get hypothermia. I mean, this one's just bumper cars with shoes. Maybe you'll get bruised or cut or something. I mean, it seems pretty safe overall. The only thing is falling off, but you get pulled up pretty quickly. But that's the thing, something can be unsafe as long as there's safety measures in place to make it safer. It doesn't seem like a very dangerous environment. It's not a very good idea, to be next to sharks. Like, that's just a good rule of thumb if you want to go diving. But the second thing is, it's not a super great idea to like be just swimming in the open ocean like this. If you're gonna retrieve something, you kind of gotta make sure you're not gonna drown. This one could definitely leave you horribly injured. Platform peril. This is certainly peril. See as I look off. Like the treetop one, Lakitu brought you back up. You're clearly fine. But look at what happens if I fall off on this one. Nothing. Nothing happens. Okay? The reason? Because I am dead. This is you're 100% gonna die from this one. Maybe you fall off the thing. You're gonna be fine. I think I'm bouncing. Whoa, that ended quickly. The problem with this one is, okay, you're bouncing very high and falling on a very giant spike. I'm gonna say leave a lifelong scar. All right, next is the 1v3 minigames. And this one is not very safe. The impact alone from that should probably kill you, but if that doesn't kill you, you're gonna be launched into the sky. We're clearly high enough to where we're above the clouds, so this is another one where you're not only going to be impacted heavily, if you survive the initial impact with the bullet, you're definitely gonna fall to your death. You're 100% gonna die, no matter what for this. And now for the most dangerous game, cookie cutters. No, maybe you'll cut your finger though. You never know. Unfriendly flying object. If the unfriendly flying object is death, then this is a very accurate, very accurate description. Dropping a giant heavy metal girder with spikes attached to it is not the hallmark of a survivable situation. You're 100% dying on this one. I was surprised, okay, I was surprised how many completely safe situations there were in this game, but I have a feeling this is gonna start turning around. This one's fine. It's just a giant squeaky hammer. I mean, sure, it looks pretty like heavy, but maybe you'll get bruised. You're fine. Arch Rivals is another one where it's completely regulated. It's not like you're gonna die. You're playing with toys, you're fine. The balls are giant spike balls that are as tall as Luigi, so clearly pretty tall, that are rolling decently quickly. Honestly, you might be able to survive if it rolled on you. Maybe it'll stop before it can do heavy damage. But see that right there? The giant spike balls can fall on your head. So, I mean, this one's pretty bad. This one's pretty bad. Worst case scenario, you're definitely dead, yeah. This one clearly is very regulated. There's only so much regulation you can do for a giant metal machine punching you very quickly. Like, maybe you wouldn't die from it just like getting hit once, but you're gonna have a lifelong scar from that. I think that fits it really well. Cage catch looks pretty safe on the surface, but see how fast that cage comes down? If I'm hit on the edge in real life with that, I'm not gonna be having a good time. I'm gonna go with lifelong scar. That would be a very painful head wound. This is one I might consider dangerous because you're in the clouds, but then again, if you fall, you come back, so it makes me think there's some sort of regulation. I still think worst case scenario, you might get a lifelong scar. You might get dizzy on this one, but you're fine. You're not gonna get hurt. This is one of the mini games where I think in real life it's safer than it looks in this, because in this they turn into like icicles and fall in the snow like very scarily, but in real life snowball fights are just you throw a snowball and you're fine. So you're probably not even likely to get a bruise or a scar. I think you're just completely fine. And then there's Squeaky Shakedown, where you hit people with Squeaky Hammer. Maybe I'll trip and get cut or something, I don't know. Alright, now we're doing the 2v2 mini games. This one would in theory be dangerous, but as we saw in the intro, there's water beneath us, and if we fall, Lakitus are there to pick us up. So realistically, if you were to just keep falling in the water and stuff, people do it all the time in like American Ninja Warrior. This is basically American Ninja Warrior. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna seriously get hurt. You're okay. This one's really bad. This one, I'm definitely gonna die from this one. So scary. Definitely dead. I'm telling you, if you're working a cash register and there's one of those like automatic conveyors, you gotta start looking at a new profession, man. That's scary business you're doing. I mean, I know there's cutting involved in this, but you're walking very slowly. You have two people handling the knife. I mean, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna get hurt. This one's another one that's just completely safe. This one's a big spectacle, but I mean, look at what we're doing. I don't think there's a reason for me to assume that anything could go wrong. Shadow Play is another one where you're just kind of turning a wheel. Also a game where you just pick cards. There's no danger. Diffuse or lose. This one's a little dangerous. Alright, worst case scenario. Anyway, there's no surviving that. You're not surviving that in any reality. This one would be another one where I'm just like crying at how painfully dangerous this is. See, Lakitu's there to pick you up. So again, if there's like these safety measures in place, it's not as bad. Yeah, so you're probably gonna be fine. You're not in that much danger. If we crash into this, see, it's just kind of like a bump. No. How could this happen? Yeah, no, this is way too slow for anything terrible to happen. Maybe bruised, maybe cut. This one is not safe. Contrary to what Mario characters and explosions like you to think. I mean, look, the explosion is tiny, you may say. It's not that bad. It is bad. What are you talking about? Explosions are explosions. They hurt badly. I actually think there's a chance for you to survive. So I don't think you're definitely dead, but you're gonna be horribly injured no matter what. Again, no threat of danger. This one's very safe. That's it for the 2v2s. Next we have the duel minigames. First one is fast fishing. And ask any fisherman, recreational fisherman, and he will tell you that fishing is definitely the most dangerous and lethal sport. See what happened to Mario just there? Did you see that? Replay. Replay that 10 times. This is a dangerous sport, I'm telling you. Clearly, this is the most dangerous sport imaginable. This thing goes kind of fast, but it looks like it's like made of rubber. It doesn't go super fast. A very, very typical like Japanese game show or something. Like a game show you'd see like on Nickelodeon or something. I don't know. You might get bruised. Who knows? Here's the thing about this one. Getting in this situation might not be the safest of things on the planet. That being said, if you're just pushing a boulder off the cliff, I think you should be okay. I think if you should be fine. You should be completely fine if all you're doing is you walk up and push a boulder off a cliff. This one seems pretty safe at the beginning, but then you need to remember you're on a tiny little thing. It doesn't look like there's a ton of railing or anything, and you're going very, very high up. The better you do, the more dangerous this potentially gets. I'm just gonna put horribly injured because I think there's a lot of preventative measures in place, but you never know. You're running through marbles. Worst injury you could get is from each other. And that's it for duel minigames. I'm gonna skip the item minigames. All of these are completely fine. It's just like cards and minigame stuff. Then there's the showdown minigames. Mario's 3-peat. This one is exceedingly dangerous. I mean, just take a look at this. From this distance, are you not dead? You are dead. The second minigame, look at where we are, okay? We're literally pushing people to their deaths. Luigi is dead. His funeral service will be on February 25th. And now here's a fourth fall to your death situation. This game really wants you to fall to your death. In real life, in all three of these minigames, you'd be so dead. Luigi's rescue operation. This one, you're just kind of running through rooms, you're fine. Peach's day off, you're fine. You're not doing anything special. Daisy's field day is a game where you're kind of jumping around stuff. Maybe you'll get bruised or cut, but you're also pretty fine. Warrior's buzzer beater is another game show. Waluigi pinball, literally just pinball. Yoshi's mountain race. Maybe you'll get bruised or cut, you're fine though. Rosalina's radical race. I mean, there is a section where you're in space. I think the potential to be horribly injured is there. DK's conga line. It's a very long and boring rhythm game, but it's not like Donkey Kong comes out and beats you up. So you're fine. And Junior's Jauntlet. Like, for example, this one. I would be dead there. I don't know about you. I couldn't survive a giant rock falling on me. Probably would also be dead if I got electrocuted by one of these things. I might get bruised by one of these guys, but probably not die. Getting hit by a bullet bill, I'm sure that would hurt a lot. I think that would be horribly injured for sure. They explode, so probably shrapnel and stuff. Also bob-ombs, also very, very deadly. Oh, so spike balls are back. Oh, goody. I don't think anybody would be mad if I just, yeah. Next we have the boss minigames, which nobody knows exists because why does this game have bosses? Oh, whirlpool, of course. Getting pulled under in whirlpools with the currents are very, very dangerous. I think the potential to get horribly injured is there. This one, you just jump on a giant bee, but I don't think he really attacks you. Like, getting stung, if this bee tried to sting you, this would be a very different segment. I would be talking about how very dead you are. Lifelong scar, it's not that bad. You'll only get a lifelong scar, it's not super horrible. This one, you just kind of attack them. You're in a pretty safe position. The only thing is they throw wrenches at you. Probably get bruised or cut from the wrench, but that's about it. 2, 1. Oh, yep. Oh, that looks like it hurt really, really bad. Good to know, good to know. Very likely horribly injured. All right, you fight Bowser in this one. He punches you. Also throws giant incendiary fireballs. I don't know if you know this, but humans are not immune to incineration. Just a little fun fact about the human anatomy. Oh, it does bob-ombs as well. So just full straight up explosions. This is a very, very easy 100% dead. Koopalathon, most of these are pretty safe. Brick Breaker, it's just like a mini game. It's like a arcade game. Same with Coin Conveyor. Same with Down the Hatch. You're literally in the background, completely safe and fine. Golden Brown, you make cookies. You're gonna be okay. Noggin Knock, also very, very... I guess there's bombs in Noggin Knock, and you can hit the bomb and explode, so probably horribly injured actually, whenever bombs come into play. Which door has more? Also very safe, nothing happens. Spike's Gambit would be okay if it was just sand, but Spikes throw these rolling, painful... Those are going so fast. This is... That would be a decapitation. These are way faster than I remember. No. Spike's Gambit, you're 100% gonna die if that thing hits you in the head. There was no preventative measures for that. You can go very fast, it's like F-Zero, and you can also hit things very painfully, as you might be able to guess. So there's electrical things. Ouch. Very painful. Oh, I didn't even know that existed. Okay, you can hit those you can hit other cars. You're very likely to die, but probably more likely to get horribly injured. Oh, there is a preventative cannon at the bottom, so you don't fall and die. That being said, being launched out of a cannon over and over again, it's not very good. I don't think it's very good for health reasons. It's just a suspicion I have. You're probably gonna be left with a scar. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at this one. This one, more fire. More death by fire. And if you get hit, you just die. And it looks like I fell downward. And by the coloring on the bottom, I'm assuming there's lava. Falling into lava is a very instant death. I mean, hey, if you want to prove me wrong, you know, there is lava. You can prove me wrong. This one is also very clearly the same as I was mentioning, as you can fall straight into the lava. In real life, you wouldn't go up like that. You would go more like, and then you'd just be dead. Bowser, you know, as much as he gets seen as kind of just like an antagonist to Mario, he's got some pretty unethical, murderous mini games in this. Like this one, for example, where he puts bombs in a box and you just can't pick the wrong one. I'm going to pick the wrong one on purpose. Oh no, definitely dead. This one's also another obvious one. You mash to climb up. Either way, you're pretty dead. I'm happy we're finally getting some serious 100% death minigames. I've been disappointed at how ethical these games were so far, but finally it's getting to the point where it's not as ethical. So you fall. Looks like you really get hurt. It looks like we're very high up. They scream for a while, so I think that's pretty safe to say you're probably gonna... we don't know how high it is, so I'm gonna put it in horribly injured. And next is the Kaboom Squad minigames. I've actually never played these, so we'll see how ethical they are. Okay, this first one I think is literally just juice production and distribution. I don't even think we can fall into the water here. I'm not even gonna give this one the benefit of the doubt. There's no possible way you're gonna get hurt during this. This one's also fine. You're not gonna get hurt, you're fine. Ballistic Bingo, I mean, might be a little bit dangerous shooting fireworks, but no, you're fine. Some of these are just like, man, you're not gonna get hurt. Maybe you'll get bruised or something, or like cut off of the thing, but overall you're okay. Other ones, on the other hand, like this one. This one's more my speed. This one's great. So I can just hold the bob-omb and get very hurt. This one's not very safe. Not necessarily 100% of death, but you're gonna get very injured. Chomp Wash, maybe you might get hurt a little bit, but you're fine. Look this way. Yeah, unless you snap your neck while turning, you're gonna be fine. Game show, walking, game show type game. And then we have the rhythm mini games. Yes. So anyway, all these are very safe. Literally all of these go into completely fine, except for Soup Troop, because you're holding a giant knife. Maybe you'll get cut or bruised. And that, my friends, is every minigame in Mario Party. Ranked from definitely dangerous to not very dangerous. Right? We have some statistics now. Overall, Mario Party is pretty ethical. Here's the thing. Over half the time, you're going to be pretty safe playing Mario Party. You're going to be okay. And then there's the times where you'll be crushed by a giant sandwich to death. And those are the not fun times. So, is Mario Party OSHA compliant? Is it ethical? Well, seeing as more than half of the minigames are pretty safe, no. What? No, this is awful. No, it's not even close.